That's for you. No gloves. Unhook it. We're putting up with the bucket truck being in our way a little bit right now, YouTube, but pretty soon we'll get it out of here. We're ready. Awesome. Me and YouTube. Small on video, YouTube, but they're kind of chunky. No, I'm not talking about the crew. So hey YouTube, I don't know if you can hear me. I don't know if the audio is working, but strange day a little bit. We could do this job with the crane, but we could also kind of keep moving pretty well without it, and it's a little bit of a drive. So here we are without the crane, and Damien will finish rigging and shredding off whatever he can reach with the bucket truck. Then we'll get that out of there, and I think I'll go up there and do some rig out some big limbs. No gloves, no burns, thanks to the lowering device, just the right amount of tension. It's moving, it's just hard to tell. You brought me the wrong camera.
Yeah, do it. Pull it, August. Hey, I gotta.
I didn't say stop, bro.
Don't put it over there, Jeff.
Hey, what's up? I want to cut into the video really quick. I'm doing the edit right now, and some of the stuff I had explained on site there, from in the tree, from up in the canopy, camera in perfect vantage points to catch the action. I was explaining things I was doing, and before and after I was talking about it. I lost it all. That's just one of those camera technological heartbreaks. It happens. And of all the jobs, because we went the extra mile on this to show it. But let me at least point out here that regardless of what it looks like on camera, the tree is too tall for the bucket. Significantly too tall for the bucket. And these are massive limbs. They're humongous, and I went through steps up in the canopy to strengthen the lowering spar that I had up there, because I was tied to it too. Explained it all on camera. It's gone. I look for another chance to show you that another time. But I braced my rigging spar, which was also my lifeline spar. I braced it well and then rigged the moon off of it. I'm just mentioning that so that no one thinks it was a reckless thing. These are big weights, but from an engineering standpoint, we had strengthened up our spars.
We'll give you some sort of idea how big these branches are that he's rigging right now. Got Adam swamped even with the skid steer. No, August, I don't think you can get your bubbly water in this bucket. Yeah. Okay.
Also on this particular limb, very big, long limb again, and we're swinging the whole thing out. I explained to you, I had you up in, way out on the limb, looking straight down the limb at me, and I was staying in your sight picture as I looked out the limb and I cut that. And I was explaining how I'll be keeping the trunk between me and the jousting effect that that limb could have if it slipped off. You know, it would just take you out. It would just cream you. So I was explaining that. And you'll see, I'll just put it in here. If I reverse this back and forth a couple times, you'll see that I keep the trunk between me and you there on the limb. And it's just another thing you can do. There's many things that I didn't get to tell you because of the lost camera footage, but I'll look for another tree, another situation, and if they come up again, I'll get 2 cameras on it or something, and I'll make sure that I can explain these things.
All right, guys. August is cutting the last branch that he's got to kind of work for. We got to keep it from getting mixed up in that fir tree there. So we've got a pole line going out that way, and Jeff and Corey are going to yard on it. So by yard, I mean nice, steady, gentle yarding. I've got this rope Jeffrey Schroeder tight, which means about as tight as it gets, to keep that branch from drooping down into the fir, getting hung up, breaking the top out, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and swing it in. Well, August will swing it in, and I'll just be the guy that makes it look cool once it's out of his hands. And I'm holding. Yeah. Those boys even pulling? Okay, I'm gonna let down just a tad more. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there we go. That's the ticket.
All right, for the hinge wood nerds, holding wood on this side because I was wanting to creep it this way, which was helping those guys on the pull rope. I nosed in here, you see the line? Put the nose in. I got rid of this because I didn't need it at all. And then I started carving this out until we had enough. These are the things that I love. This type of thing, big rigging with, what's the word? With the potential for consequence, dramatic consequence. In other words, it needs to be right. And when you do stuff like that and you get it right, it's the best. And this is what we were trying to show up in the canopy there on this job and weren't able to. But there you have it. That's just one little thing, and to the veteran, they'll be like, oh yeah, I understand. But if you're not a veteran, you haven't been around this, you might take heed to some of this stuff. Ways to protect yourself in a place where some would say you have nowhere to run, but you do have places to hide.
Yeah, August, I did like how it perfectly cradled my 460.
So battery on the GoPro died, so I'm down to just one more log until tomorrow. So I'll try to film it with my camera, with my phone here, but that'll mean I'll have to one hand on the saw, one hand on the camera. Super important though, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Flat. He says it could have been longer. That's pretty good measuring for having no tape.
Oh, it's YouTube.
Well, the bed is over 8 feet wide, so that's pretty burly. Yeah, kinda. One last thing before I end the video here. Hop on over to Guilty of Treason. So I'll put the link in the description because he lost his channel. He lost his channel to the company that he was working for there in Seattle. They took it over. But if you liked his videos, you know, he did the edits. He did most of the work. He's the one who stayed up the long nights. And he's a young guy, super talented tree man, and I think he's what I would call a natural. So worthy of watching. Maybe check out his new channel. If you type in Guilty of Treason, it'll just take you to the other one, the one that he lost, because it's still called that. But there's a new Guilty of Treason, and check it out in my description. Go over there and subscribe to him if you like that content, because if you like this content, you probably like that content.